Hello and welcome to the youthsaga.com. Today our guest is Shri Sandesh Srinivas Nyayapati. He is a software professional and working since 8 years in various multinational companies. So Sandesh, welcome to your show today.
Hey, thank you, Abhijit. Thanks for taking me into this call. It's been a
Yeah.
pleasure
So
talking to you.
yeah, it's been a long time that we met together. We know each other since a few years, and we work together also. So my question would be the fact is that today artificial intelligence and machine learning is a very advanced technology, and it's a cutting edge technology available in the market, and it's very trendy worldwide. Please tell to our audience what is the difference between artificial intelligence and machine learning.
So, firstly, it's like machine learning and artificial intelligence. So, what exactly machine learning and artificial intelligence is like? Both are same. Firstly, both are same, and machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. So using machine learning, what you guys we do is like we prepare some set of machine learning models using some set of algorithms, mathematical algorithms. And what exactly do artificial intelligence means is that you're trying to make some business case. For example, you're preparing some robotic kind of structure. So what exactly, so that is an artificial AI object. The same way machine learning is also having its own set of AI nature. So in a simple terms, I would say that machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. So AI is a very big family, big word, whereas machine learning and deep learning is like a small part of it.
Okay, so as per my understanding of this very advanced technology, that
Hmm.
artificial intelligence by its name is showing that the machine can think like a human and take a decision effectively, help the human to solve the bigger problems.
Exactly. Like if you see AI is the main reason is that it tries to understand the human behavior. For example, if you're trying to build any kind of robot, if you're trying to build any kind of a machine, so main reason is that it need to mimic the human nature. So so it when they need to mimic the human nature, they need to understand the human behavior. How it does a human stands, how does a human stop, like walks, how does it reads everything. So the same way, like yeah, in one way, like it understand the pattern of a human being and it tries to prepare himself just like a human. So
And yeah, as a human race, we have a problem like a human, and we have to solve it in an effective way through a machine who feels or doesn't have a life, and so he will help us without any human life got wasted through a machine. So command from the human and do effectively as per the requirement.
yeah. The main yeah, yeah,
Please
please.
proceed.
So
Okay.
actually, yeah, please Abhijit, yeah, you want to add something, yeah,
Okay,
please.
so if you take a bigger concept or bigger picture, that please explain about that how is really helping humans in the various sector of profession, and how is helping to the common people in their day-to-day life. So please explain in a broader perspective.
So yeah, so if you see in recent time, like in the real world platform as of in 2020, you see you have multiple domains. Like if you see, you have this like aeronautical domain, you have banking domain, you have the telecommunication domain, and you have the other domains, like you have like the traveling space, and also the e-commerce space. In all the spaces, the it's like the market is growing and growing bigger and bigger. So the in recent times, if you see that there are multiple set of data is getting collected in a form. Earlier, if you see, we used to store the data in the files. So but from there it became, we started storing the data in the databases. Now
Yes.
database is also getting smaller, so they started storing in the disks. and also in the cloud spaces. So it means
yeah,
that you got hundreds of petabytes and data. So what you gonna do with the data as of today? Like, will you keep it, store it as it is? No, the
no,
people want to do something with the data, right? So that's
yeah,
where the
yeah,
machine learning has come. Like, for example, uh, now let's assume that we have a process in place. Okay, everyone need to come over there and need to fill a form, he need to get the required approvals, then he will be getting the required loans. This is the process. Let's assume it's a simple loan process in a bank. Now this is an where a loan doc specialist or the underwriter, he, he will be available in the bank, he will check and he will approve it. So this process takes somewhere around 45 days to 60 days in the current process of going on. So now if assume that there's a machine learning black box. That black box is like it takes up the inputs and it tells you that this, like, it takes this input process, like it takes the basic details of an employee and a person who is coming to the bank, and he gives the result in 5 minutes. how the how
yeah,
how beneficial it will be for the bank. Like, the bank who which process the loan 100 loans in a day, they can process the same loans, thousands of loans. The return of investment is more, they will be getting lot of loans. Lot of loans means lot of money at the same process. So what exactly now in the present situation is happening is that every domain in across the globe, they're trying to leverage this AI and machine learning to simplify their process, mainly to simplify their process, because the simplification of the process is like, if you simplify the process, the more better the opportunities you can give it to the customers.
okay. So that means you basically were saying that this technology will take the command from the human and work more faster than, I mean, maybe 100 times or more than that for the to give its output.
Exactly, exactly. It's like, yeah, you are giving your human behavior to the machine, and machine
Yeah,
will, based on your behavior, what you given it to the machine will understands the other information, and it will behave like a human. Like, if for example, if a person is there, how he will be classifying as on an application. In the same way, machine will classify, and he will give you in a single shot. Like, what a man does it, like it what a process that it happens in 10 days, he will give it to you in a half an hour. That's it, till khatam ho
okay.
gaya uska kam.
Yeah, it's like a huge, jump up for the human. That it's like something like we know by the definition of a machine, that machine which reduce the human effort and do the thing very effectively. And now the
Yes.
machine have a brain. Now the machine have a brain itself, which
Yeah.
is the artificial intelligence in the form of artificial intelligence. Now the machine have the thinking process and take the decisions very fast and faster than the human effort, isn't it?
Yeah, it has its own kernel, just like we have our brain, right? It has its own kernel which
Like
decides.
now we are trying to equip the machine with a very advanced brain. It thinks like a human.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like,
Wow,
yeah.
wow. I think that is the main takeaway from this interview, that people will be understand how the scenario going to be changed with these modern technologies.
Yes, yes, yes. So if you the main purpose, it's like, if you see, the machine tries to simplify the process. At the same point of time, you need a human. You know,
Yeah,
yes, you need a human in hand who can govern these machines, because some point of time this machine learning is, it's like, it's not 100% accurate. It can be 80% or 85% accurate, but so you
yeah,
need some,
uh,
yeah.
yeah. Because like a human race, we can't give a complete command to the machine. We
Mm,
can able to think about, because
mm.
like it's something like you are a god and you created human beings and you giving all the powers to the humans. Then the humans will be feel like a god. And if you get take all the control to the machine will replace the human, and they think they say, yeah, we are humans and they are our slaves.
Exactly, like it has all, the machine was also developed with some portion of error rate. you know.
Okay.
Everything goes good till it properly predicts you, gives you information. The day when it gives you an error, that day your problem will start, you know. Let's
Yeah,
say.
even though, yeah, I hope the most of the people see the Hollywood movies, and we got the various concepts. Even in Tollywood industry also, got few very popular movies which showcase this. Human psychology, the fear of takeover by the machine. So we think what are the movies like Terminator and Robo
I,
by
I
Rajat
robot.
Khan. So yes, and the directors really try to forecast those future events might be happen if you not have a command over the machine who have a thinking ability, and have make like a do the imagination and creativity which humans only have on this planet. This might be very dangerous if we don't have any command or control over the machine, which we are equipped for our well-being. Might be dangerous for us to control it.
Exactly, like if you see, like when the people are trying to explore this machine learning process, right? There are two ways of machine learning process. One is a supervised one and one is an unsupervised. So supervised one is like a person is already been there in your, like, who he knows that I am building a machine, and he knows what the output that machine need to give. So it's a supervised process where he tells you that your job is only till this point of time. Okay, beyond that you do not have any other work. Like you need to only classify a loan, you need to only classify a person is defaulting or not. That's it, your job is over. Whereas if you see, there are some more spaces, like if there's an unsupervised process, it means that it doesn't have any kind of input command. Like it has given anything. Like it only takes the data. Data is also not in a proper format of data, but from the data it tries to understand the human behavior and the sentiment analysis of a person, of a required data. Then it will be behaving based on the use case according. Let's assume like you are training a robot. Okay, you're training a robot. It's an unsupervised robot. Let's assume like you need where it's some portion of it's supervised, but whereas one and some portion is unsupervised. Let's assume you're trying to give some sentiments to the to a robot. We cannot give it directly. It need to train it accordingly, that sentiment should be developed. So even I think 2 years back I read an article, like Facebook was trying to develop two robotics, a robotic processes. So they have developed two robots. Okay, so what happened is like they were training these two robots, and they have placed these two robots at a one point of time. So what happened is like these two robots were communicating each other, and they have prepared their own language, which is not understandable by the human. So
Okay.
the, that sense of fear has came in the Facebook management, that they have decommissioned the entire project, you know. At some, so what happens is that at some point of time there should be a limit for anything. If it
Yeah.
crosses the limit, many disastrous things can be happen. That's what the
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. I mean, it might be destructive for its own creator.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because as we know that artificial intelligence and machine learning have different layers and level of performances, different operations. Might be so it might be a very high level of work like space researches and universe
Yeah,
and
yeah.
going to other planets. So it's a very rocket science kind of thing. And it have also have a very minimal use of common human life. So can you just tell me that the base of consumer, in the level of consumer and customer, how is dealing with the different sectors, like you say banking and or automobiles and all those things. So can you just in a short brief description can you tell me
Yeah, sure.
how it
Sure.
affects? Yeah.
Sure. If you see in the consumer space, let's assume like you're in e-commerce space. Let's so e-commerce space, what we're gonna do? If you see in the recent cycle, you have many e-commerce platform like Flipkart, Amazon. and Alibaba and many things has came, right? If a consumer logins into portal and he tries to purchase some, let's assume he's trying to purchase a pen drive from portal, then what you can suddenly see is that on the right side he will be getting some list of suggestions, like a person who has bought this pen drive can also buy this mouse, can also buy this teradata hard disk, and the combination of this can will get you a discount of this one, some 1800 rupees you will be getting all the discount. So how does it get, how they get all this thing is that they understands the different users who are logged into their portal. They understand the behavior who is purchasing it. Like for example, if a person A comes into their portal and they purchase some, let's assume they're purchasing a chair from their portal. In the end he also saw some table and he also purchased it, and some other user comes and he tries to navigate the same chair, they will show these suggestions. So this is an artificial intelligence, like they are acting as a recommendation system when they're trying to buy something. This is an e-commerce portal. And now let's come to the telecommunication portal. Like for example, many in the industry, like if you see, whenever we try to log in into our like when we call to a customer care, we do not directly interact with our customer care representatives. So there is an automatic tele recording caller is there. So it is acting like, and also we have some sort of chatbots, like
Yes.
these chatbots are like they interact with the users. And if the user is not like he is bit aggressive in nature and he's not meeting the machines, like machine is not able to satisfy them, then they route it to the actual customer. So what exactly in this process is happening is like they are trying to lower down the work effort of like if you have the workload of a customer care representative, like customer care who tries to in a day, if there is no automatic call recorder, then he will get some 1,000 calls in a day. If because of automatic call recorder his workload got reduced, like at least 100 calls he will be taking lesser with the because of this,
Mm-hmm.
because it is
Yes.
handling something. So
Yes.
in that way, in the telecommunication, the same way if you see airspace, like if you see the navigation of a plane without an autopilot system, let's assume autopilot system. So how does this autopilot works? Like you a custom, like a plane knows its source and destination. So directly we cannot keep it in autopilot, right? It needs to know
Yeah.
the process, the speed and the velocity in which it's going on. And also when it goes over there, you need to see like is there any terrains are there, is there any mountains are there. So it need to understand, it need to take the required turns over there, right? So all this, like if you see, so there are the people are building some AI spaces, like AI models which can understand these things. And without a human, if for example for 5 minutes or 10 minutes of an autopilot, this does this job, then it will help it. One way it will try to help the workload of any person. Like if a pilot is going out for a washroom, then he can keep it in an autopilot mode and he can go over there, right? So
Yeah.
it's like it is a human nature, you know. If you're traveling from Mumbai to Sydney, it's a six long hours by a flight.
Yeah.
So a pilot cannot sit for 6 long hours, or anyone attendant
Yes.
cannot sit. So this way like near airspace, in auto navigation system. And also if you see in a banking system, like the main process of this machine learning is been leveraged in the banking world. We see like whether it might be in a loan systems, or it might be the sentimental analysis. And even I heard like for example, like they are trying to use the social media networks. Like you see, the person whom they are giving the loans, right? Not only they are watching their social media, like for example today I have taken my loan and I am giving some social media feeds, like hey, I lost my job and everything. Okay, I kept my post in social media. So I haven't officially communicated to bank that I lost my job, but they will see all this thing, they will watch everything, they do the
Okay.
sentimental analysis of it. And they there is a machine learning object in the background which tells you that hey, this guy is one set of guy who can act as a risk to your loan. Check this guy properly, monitor him. So
Okay.
they are making all set of frameworks on top of their processes. to
Okay.
keep their better they're like uh, place they are going a compliant process, but at the same time they are trying to make the process in a more reliable, effective, and more better, like lesser loss process they want. So that's what they were the main. So
And then it's helping to communicate the customers and track the people how their uh, finance and loans are working. So that's really helpful to tracking people. And as you told that airspace on a vehicle, automobile. So because now technology has come up with non-human cars. So we don't need a driver to run a car. It's automatically. I mean, artificial intelligence run the car, stop on the red light, traffic,
yes, yes,
and
that is also a use case.
accelerate.
Yeah,
Yeah, accelerate the speed, break the
yeah,
speed,
yeah,
whatever the human driver do. Now the robots and these advanced technologies are doing. Like most of the leading technology companies like Google and Amazon, Tesla, all are
yeah,
working on this to making the
yeah.
automobile
Apple,
industry,
Apple also. Yeah.
yeah, more sophisticated. Even we have non-human fighter planes with fighting
Yes,
work.
yes. Even if you see in the defense space and also in aeronautical space, it's like machine learning is used from way back from 20
Yeah,
years down the line. If you see, it is not been used in a commercial purpose, but if you see 20 years, like if you even say you see what you clearly have said, like defense space without an automated one, like you're building a missile which is not an unmanned missile. So how will it know that it need to hit a correct target? It
yeah,
needs some
true.
set of supervision, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
yes, yes, they are using it in an aggressive way. Yeah,
Even the such a satellite technologies, rockets, everything. I mean, we need it.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine. We just give a fair idea to our audience that how it's really penetrating to our day-to-day lives, individual customers and the layman. It's everywhere. The technology is really affecting every person everywhere. Their performance. Next we'll go to the bigger picture. We go to the government and the big corporate. The government and the corporates really dealing with more and more people, more citizens and more customers, and they need have to create a platform or resources on that capable and speed and more uh, productive. So there's always a challenge for the government and the corporates to deliver on time. How do you think that these technologies are helping governments and the big corporates to reduce their work effort and increase their productivity?
The first thing is like in 2020, the main one of if you see our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has given you a campaign called Skill India. So in that Skill India, what he has intimated that artificial intelligence plays the main role and it's the future of our Indian economy.
Yes, yes,
So
that's
so so he wants, like if you see many a people, if you see many a people are skilled laborers, you have it, but the skilled labor which is today, it is not the same skill in the next 5 years or 10 years down the line. So
it.
in the present market they need to add some add on to it, like for example, if you are working as a customer care representative in today's process, that same process can't be added 10 years down the line, because the compliance process will be changed, the market dynamics will be changed, and everything will be changed. So oh, the thing is that the 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 labor or the workers who are in the organization and the technology in the organization need to go hand in hand. You cannot use the old technology in the present situation, because you need to upgrade yourself, then only you can understand the dynamics of the commercial organization, and your throughput will be increased only with your latest skills of the customer, and the latest technologies of the with the latest technology, in a consolidated way you can get a better throughput.
Yeah. So are you suggesting that as the government and the corporate, they have to deliver in a very huge manner? So there is a human expectation from the government to do more for them. So they are using the artificial intelligence, machine learning technologies to make their things done better.
you know
Better.
government should always, the main thing is that government is always looking out for a process where they can simplify a process. For
Yeah.
example, you need to simplify a process. Let's assume like, we if you see in let's assume like we have some places like hilly areas like in Bihar and
Mm.
Chhattisgarh and Assam. Many a times you would see some floods are draining around every year. To see flood
Yeah.
systems. So what government and what the other R&D departments are looking out is like, if you assume like, if a tsunami comes, a cyclone comes, how many animals are dying, but how many people are dying, we can count it, but how many animals are
Yeah.
dying we don't know, because animals know that senses. you know the animals will do that, know they will sense it before some drastic event
Oh.
comes in. So what
Oh.
are R&D departments, what are Indian organization means, I was just read an article of DRDO and some like research organizations. What they are doing is that they are trying to mimic like the behavior of birds. Like if any
Okay.
drastic events comes, what is the idea, what exactly do the birds thinks when when a cyclone or when any kind of tsunami comes, what are the
Mm.
thought. So they're trying to read that thought and read that thing, and using that they're trying to prepare some set of AI models so that
Mm.
they can help. Many, if you see, we are surrounded by seas. Like in the south we have,
Yeah. Yeah.
if you see the left side and right side, we are surrounded by
Yeah.
seas.
Please,
So
yeah.
many,
Please.
yeah, many a times you see a fishermen do go for their livelihood. So
Yeah.
there are, we have our systems which are trying to intimate that there is some event comes in, but we are not giving it more robust way. So government is trying to improve a process, like they are trying to build some AI technologies and AI models, and to make it more robust and make it like a safer environment before, like prevention is more better than cure. So
Yeah.
I think your government is following that. And even many of the like, if you see, the world is changing, and also in the same way the India is also changing. So that's
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
I understood with
Yeah. Because the government really dealing with very important ministry with a lot of departments and a lot of manpower and funds, technologies that the part of the government process, and even the big corporates too, because now big corporates also it's like running a country. They have a huge
yes,
fund.
yes,
Yeah, because now like I just heard from a very wise person in the internet that big corporates and the companies is going to run the globe effectively in few years, 10 to 15 years. So they will dominate and they can able to make the government, respect the government. They are very strong and capable person in the earth now, and they're also, yeah, they're also leading the country in the future.
yes, absolutely. Like if you see, the corporates always plays a vital role in like in making and breaking of a system. And yeah, so if you see the corporates and every, if you see, this AI is like an, is a system which is acting as a helping model to any of an organization, any organization, whether it might be a government or private organization, which tries to improve the process. It's not only improving the process, but it also improves the livelihood of a person. you know
Yeah,
so obviously it's like it will play a positive role rather than a negative role, I would say, but it will play a positive role. Like if you in a developing countries like India, or also in the neighboring countries, wherever developing nations will need to adhere this AI process.
yeah, and the government and the companies is really dealing with common man's problem. They want to solve it very effectively, and I hope the AI will be helped on this.
Absolutely, absolutely, Abhijit. I think you're very much right.
Okay. So my next question will be little sensitive to the field of job and employment, because do you think that these technologies uh, going to take more jobs than generating new job profiles?
Uh, yes, actually, I do have a difference of opinion in this case. Like, if you are like, you are partially right in this case, but also I would say that let's take it in this way, like if for example, a machine learning is like it's trying to, yes, it will try to simplify your process. In the process of simplification, yes, it may affect some domains, like it may affect some sectors of your corporate organizations, where the person might, if corporate organization might think that my machine is doing this job, then why do I need this many people? Yes, there is a
Yeah,
cases. Yes, there are cases, but at the same point of time, you need humans, because you cannot completely eliminate humans and you can keep the machines over there, because you machines do also create errors. When they create error, they will drastically hit you so badly. For example, let's
yeah,
assume that in the last this year or last year, I believe there's a campaign happens like Black Lives Matters, you know in
yeah,
US.
yes, yes, yes,
So there is a many cases where you talk about the people talk about racial discrimination and everything. So let's assume that I have fired my entire process, backend process people, and I have replaced with my machines. And that machine will, what it will do, it will approve some community loans, and it will be disapproving some other community. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So what it will happen in the
So
end of the day, it will
yeah, yeah,
create a it will create a
yeah,
huge
definitely
impact on the organization, and also the
society and yeah, yeah,
yeah. And if you
yeah,
have to understand that reputation of a company is always a main thing. And if one bad comes into like in a media, the entire thing will be going to stake, like. So so you need both the people hand in hand. You need the machine, and also you need the people hand in hand. Yes, the skills might be the skills, what the people, those who are taking today, they need to upgrade the skills.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because it happens all the time. If you gone through the history, when the computer, personal computer is introduced in the market, and there's a fear psychosis that people will lose their jobs and the computer will do most of the work. But later on, people will learn new skills, upgrade themselves, and it's created the new sections of the businesses. It will create new industries altogether.
Yes,
So
absolutely. Like today there is a machine, artificial intelligence, but we don't know, like tomorrow there is something more it might come in. So at
yeah,
that point of time also we have to upgrade on it. So
yeah. So that's a matter of upgrading ourselves, and the people always know more, keep learning, and match your skills as per the requirement of the market day, and move on,
absolutely.
and yeah,
Yes.
make your life
Move
better.
move on is the best answer. Yes, exactly. Like move on.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
I just will wish people will do that all the time. Because human race is a very sophisticated and creative, imaginative race on this planet. The only race I can say. So you can do that. We are hopeful.
yes.
So next, I would like to ask that how machine learning technology is giving more power to the electronic machines, like a mechanical machine, to learn and educate themselves, and serve the human life in better way. So can you give us some live demos in which you learn that how machine learning will learn effectively from the human command and educate and develop themselves and deliver.
Okay. So if you see, like in recent times, our space organizations, if you see, so ISRO, we are trying to build some satellites and we are putting it in our solar system. Like in a recent ISRO missions, what it's like, they are trying to locate, like, is water available in the Mars, or how does the Mars behave, what is the climatic change of the Mars. So how they are doing all these things, that they are not sending man over to the Mars. So what they are using this machine learning artificial AI objects into the, they are trying to deploying it in the solar system. These objects will try to understand the behaviors where the humans can't go, and they will understand it, and they're trying to find out an alternate route to the earth. So in this way, these are helping up the humans in some way. like whether it might be giving some information or knowledge to the to back to us. Like let's assume like today we have 10 planets in our solar system. We don't know what,
yeah,
but nobody in our entire universe, like in nobody in the earth, even Yuri Gagarin or any other person who entered the first into space, they never visited all these 10 planets. These
yeah,
10
yeah, true.
planets are based on assumptions, right? So
Yes, yes,
who understood that these 10 planets are there? There is some, because of this artificial AI, we understood that we have 10 planets in our solar system. So tomorrow there someone says that there is 11th planet, it is also should be confirmed by the mission. So
yeah,
everything.
yes,
So and even if you see, yeah, even if you see in the water space, like let's assume that there are many people, like people do travel, like earlier when if you go back in 60s and 70s, people used the compasses, like if you want to transport your your goods and everything, water is the only cheapest way if you need to transport. And if you see,
yes,
the Chinese market has grown into a newer heights only by exporting the products through via water. That's why the
yes,
people, they always fight for South China Sea, that they claim it
yes,
like
yes, true,
that is
true.
ours, that is ours, not yours. So that's so how they generally they navigate through water. They navigate you via the compassing system. That's an old process. Like they
Yes,
they just go to the, but now if you see that things got changed, like the machine learning AIs and everything are used in the vehicles. So they governs you, like they tells you, they predicts you, they tells you the process, how do you need to follow the like how you need to travel, and where you need to stop, where you need to exit, and everything. They are trying to help you in one way, like whether it might be you're transporting, or you're traveling, or you're purchasing anything, they're always
yeah,
playing a helping hand for you,
yes, yes.
because
And
they're
it's now, yeah, it's now is a part of human life, and it's affecting from pure to hyperfic everywhere. It's everywhere, and it's solving problems very powerfully and effectively. And even though we can say very accurately, machines are
yes,
more accurate than human beings are.
I would say no. My
No?
answer is no for that, because
Okay,
if
please
you
elaborate.
for example, machines doesn't have the sentiment. Firstly, yes,
Yeah, true.
there's a work going on the sentimental analysis of of that, but that's a different story. But machine only goes on the inputs what you're giving on to it. So some point of time, and every point of time, machine is not always right. So you need a human, you need a human, like yes, yes, it a layman, a difference between a layman and machine is that a layman can do a problem, but a difference between an intellectual and a machine is that intellectual knows the process more better than a machine,
True.
because he is the person who is trying to train the machine.
Yeah, yeah, true. And even though big technology companies is aware of that they should not equip the machine in that level that they can replace the human. So we have to
Yes,
differentiate.
yes. Even there was talks going on that they want to mimic the Albert Einstein's brain.
Okay,
His IQ level is somewhere at 180. So they wanted to prepare same kind of artificial AI object which can think on the lines of Einstein's thoughts. So
okay,
there was also I read this article, like there is a laboratory which is working on this one.
okay. So we have to be humans, and the big technology companies will be very concerned and very aware about that what they are really developing, and so it should not be like that. It will be destructive for the human race.
Yes, actually, I would say that anything which is more is always a destructive.
Yeah,
So so when you are trying to make any process, that process need to be like there's some sort of limit for anything. So currently we, if you see in the commercial space, wherever the space we are using, like if you see in the spaces like your e-commerce space, your telecommunication space, or your traveling space, like the like in when you're booking your tickets, all these are the commercial space where this is fine. Like these are like a domestic kind of AIs which
yeah,
is only in a helping hand. But if you work if you see the spaces like defense space are in a
Yeah.
space where it's more secure space. So if you
Healthcare
try,
sector
yeah,
also.
so some point of time you need to be very much you're cautious and compliant, and very much being handy with what you want to achieve. So if anything which goes out of your hands, obviously it will burn your hands. So
Yeah.
there is a
And even
possibility of
though
it.
I want to share a very interesting experience of in your live demo of Google AI system, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
introduced by Mr. Sundar Pichai in Google AI launch. This that I see the live demo of a machine that takes a call from the customer of a saloon, and took the appointment for the customer in the human recorded voice, and make the deal happen for the customer. So it's that
या
way
या
I
या
have.
या कल हमें पता भी नहीं होता है कि कौन हमारा कोई सैलून में कौन है, मशीन है या आदमी है, पता भी नहीं चलता है। फिर वे भी ये भी हो सकता है कल
Yeah,
की
yeah.
रोज।
So
या
I was amused that see this level of integration of technology, that the machine take the appointment from the customer and fix the appointment, and the customer will be not aware that the machine did this. That.
and even if you might have learned about this Sophia, the human
Yeah, yeah,
robot, right? I think the Saudi, I think they have given her a citizenship. They have given a citizenship to a robot, and even if you see in Bangalore, there's some hotel which is where a robot is employed for for taking up the orders from the customers.
yes.
So they,
Okay, fine. That's enough talk about the Earth. So now we'll check about the outer space. So please tell us about that how these technologies are going to affect how the human ambition to go to the another other planet, to the explore the universe and make human colonies in Mars and the moon, like few leading technology companies like Amazon and SpaceX are thinking about build human colonies in different planets. So how going to help it?
see, AI has always been like, if you go back to the inception, like in even from 1960, 1970 onwards, the space science, everything, and the AI is like in hand in hand. So
Yeah,
they are always been using this. So whether it might be in the way of traveling to a different planet, or understanding the nature of the different planets in the solar system, they are using this AI technologies. So even if you see uh, like if you see this Mars mission, the Mangalyaan mission, it
yeah.
yes, it was a very good attempt, but it got failed. But you might be remembering that there's a Chennai software engineer who said that where exactly this Mars this like where exactly our object,
Robot.
the debris were found. So where how he has found it, that one he has prepared a CNN, like he has prepared a convolutional neural network model using the images of that one, the images what the ISRO has published in their portal. He has used those portals, and he tried to prepare his own model, and he told that this is located in this way, this place. So one way, like AI has always been a process where it helps you to find some deeper insights which we do not know as a humans. So which we do not know, like we try to in like we I as a human wants to develop something, but I don't but uh, which I'm not intended to. But the machine, when it understands it, it tries to figure such an important thing which we do not know, but it's actually exist.
Yes.
So there is always been a space where this always been a scope which is always which has been there. Like if you see in the outer space, where we are trying to uh, travel from one place to another place, like from Earth to Mars. So when we are traveling it, we got multiple things, like we found out that there's a water in the Mars, and also we
Yes.
said that Saturn is the Jupiter is bigger than the is the largest planet in the solar system. And we say that the Pluto is not a planet. Someone has also confirmed it. So how?
Hmm.
It's because of AI
Yeah.
imaginative analysis.
As a human race, we have a lot of limitations also. We just can't fly ourselves, and we need always mechanical and technological advantages with us exploration because the planets, between the planets, that's a huge long distances, few light years of distance, and it's impossible to travel that way. We might have a space station. We can stay there for 2 years or something. But when you explore and make a human colony within the planet, it's a very difficult job. And from the by using the satellites, we can take a picture of the surfaces of the and understand the climates and the environments of it good for the human. And then human can be sustained out there. So without machines and without go to the surface of the planet, we can understand the planet very properly. That is it helpful for the humans to be there. How will be going to survive?
Yes, yes, yes. It will be helpful. Like even if you want to prepare, you want to create an alternate planet, you cannot create on your own. You need some missions. So AI
Yeah.
is always been AI is always in way how we want to create get your required use case correct.
Wow. So that's a huge discussions about these cutting edge technologies, the artificial intelligence or machine learning. And I hope the audience will really enjoy it and have a gather a lot of information out of these conversations. So, Mr. Sandesh, it's really wonderful to have you with us, and
Yeah,
wish you good luck for your future. And once again, thank you very much for being with us. Thank you.
yeah. It's a pleasure meeting with you, Abhijit. Thank you.